Hello, this is Brian. Today is Tuesday, August 16th, 2022, and I am here near the international border near San Isidro in Tijuana River Valley Regional Park. Today, I want to present a very special edition of Spotlight on Shrubs. Today focuses on the very local, regional, endemic Palo Blanco, also known as Baja Birdbush. And it is this shrub right here. This is Ornithostaphylos oppositifolia. And as you can see here, it is a medium to sometimes quite large shrub, maybe occasionally reaching small tree size. And it is an evergreen. In other words, the shrub has leaves all year round, and it is a member of the Heath family, the Ericaceae. And it is closely related to other members of the Ericaceae found here in Southern California, as it is a member of the Heath family again, Ericaceae, but is a member of the Madrone Tribe, the Arbutoideae. Is related to the Madrones, is related to the manzanitas, the mission manzanita. So it's related to this guy right here, Xylococcus bicolor. So Ornithostaphylos oppositifolia is quite structurally similar, actually very similar in structure to the related manzanitas, mission manzanita, the summer holly, as it is a crooked, much branched, very dense shrub, very densely foliated, as you can see here. The difference is the leaves are quite a bit narrower than your mission manzanitas, which their leaves are not super wide, but they're very heavily curled under, which means the leaves are revolute. And summer hollies, which one variety or subspecies is heavily curled under, and the other one's relatively flat. Baja Birdbush, one name of this plant, also known as Palo Blanco again, has very narrow leaves, as you can see here, very narrow, light green, and they also are revolute. The edges are curled under, as you can kind of see here. So bright green on the top, mostly glabrous, and underneath the edges are curled under, very narrow and whitish and very slightly fuzzy underneath. And another difference setting this apart from our other Arbutoideae is that the leaf arrangement's different. See, on mission manzanita is very typical of the Arbutoideae, the Madrone Tribe, as the leaves alternate on the stem. The leaves are alternately arranged on the stem. They're not opposite each other on the twig. Palo Blanco, which is my preferred name for the plant, it's the Spanish name of the plant. Like white branch, white stick, white tree. The leaves, although you have to really look carefully because the leaves are very closely bunched together, so it's very densely foliated at the ends of the branches. The leaves are oppositely arranged, hence the name oppositifolia. As we're looking right here, if we look carefully enough at the reddish twigs, you can see that each leaf is opposite one another on the twig, hence the name oppositifolia. Again, look carefully, you can see the leaves are oppositely arranged. So this plant in the springtime produces small clusters of whitish flowers, maybe about this long. Not the flowers, but the flower clusters are kind of linear, kind of like a raceme. As you can kind of see here, well, they're kind of a raceme. And you can see here's an old flower cluster. You can see what the old flower stalk looks like. And they're kind of small, whitish, and bell-shaped like other Madrone Tribe plants. And then they get these really small berry-like fruits that usually ripen in the summer. I can't really show you what they look like too well. All I can see is just some old ones from previous years. They're very small and they're rounded. As you see here, fortunately this was not a good year for Palo Blanco because the very dry weather here has kind of usurped them from blooming too heavily. So there you have it, beautiful Palo Blanco. So you're going to find it is you're going to mostly find it near Borderfield State Park, this area, the Tijuana River Valley, on these, mostly on these mesas. This is the first group of them I've seen is up here on the mesa near the border here. And I warn you against going any further along there, that you'll be trespassing on government property. So just be aware of where you're walking. But right here on these mesas in this coastal and nearly coastal inland chaparral, right near the border, it's probably more common in Mexico, Baja, than it is here. But just take a look at this beautiful shrub. So let's look at some of the twigs. Some of the newer twigs are kind of brownish in color, reddish brown as you can see. And then, kind of like Mission manzanita and other manzanitas, the bark is relatively smooth on Palo Blanco, as you can see here. Sometimes the branches are quite whitish, and they can start out kind of whitish gray, but then as you go down the stem, a lot of times they'll start browning up like Mission manzanita. So look down here, just like Mission manzanita, that's kind of brownish trunks. But a lot of times they can have white branches and trunks as well. A really good place to see this plant without having to go near the border is seeing at the Rancho Santa Ana Botanic Garden in Claremont, California. Not Claremont Mesa, San Diego, Claremont in LA County. It has the Rancho Santa Ana Botanic Garden. It has a very large specimen of this plant, and it tends to have more of the white bark as opposed to a lot of this brown. I've never seen that plant personally, but I've seen pictures of it online. It's quite a large specimen too. It's probably about 20 feet tall, I think, from what I hear. But as you can see here, in the chaparral, it tends to be much smaller because it's quite arid and dry here, and I'm pretty sure it gets a lot more irrigation. So there you have it. This plant is a very rare find here in Southern California. So if you find this plant, make sure you take time to appreciate how beautiful this plant is. So this is it. Ornithostaphylos oppositifolia in the Madrone Tribe of the Heath family. Like I said, you really have to be kind of lucky to find this plant. It's not very common, quite rare here. So if you happen to find this species, take the time to enjoy it. And it probably is found in a few more spots in this area. There are a few of them here on this mesa, but just again, like I said, be careful. Don't walk over there on the mesa, off the mesa, and get in trouble. Just appreciate it from here near on the roadside, on this dirt road that leads down from the visitor center parking area. So this is it. Ornithostaphylos oppositifolia. Yet another endemic species found here in San Diego County. One I am very pleased and excited to have been able to provide a spotlight on. And my first encounter with this plant. So take some time to enjoy this plant. Thanks for watching my spotlight video. And I will see you on the next episode. Again, Ornithostaphylos oppositifolia. Thanks for watching.